I'm not even going to show my face for this review. Um, this is from Universal. This is Rob Zombie's The Munsters on a collector's edition Blu-ray, which does not have a digital copy because this is a Netflix exclusive at the moment. Well, exclusive to streaming anyway. And this thing is available at Walmart on Blu-ray and DVD. And before I tell you anything I think about this movie, I want to say that it's just my personal opinion, and Walmart's pretty well sold out of the Blu-ray, so there definitely is an interest to this. But what we get here is 2 hours of a movie that could have easily been an hour and a half. You could have trimmed a lot of time off this, and you wouldn't have lost anything. I'm a fan of Rob Zombie. I like his movies for the most part. I don't know why he wants to always cast his wife as the lead and everything, but that's not my business, and I probably sound like everybody else when I say that. Outside of that, I think the man does some solid work, and I am somebody who did not loathe his Halloween remake like everybody else did, although I do not like part two. That being said, this movie, like I said, 2 hours long. We basically see the origin story of how these people, become to be the people we know from the TV show. It's a movie that seems like you're going to get a certain plot, but then you don't really get much follow up to the plot, and whatever plot is going on is wrapped up relatively easily without much of an issue to it, which is my main problem with it because originally, you know, Grandpa's no good son, who is also a wolf man, is into some trouble, and they want Grandpa's house. And you're like, well, that's going to be like the main issue of the movie. That's going to be our main story, and it's there, but it's not really important. Not, it just kind of gets us from like point A to point Z, but it does it very peacefully. Then you're like, well, this is going to be the story of how these two come to meet each other. And of course, we're originally Grandpa doesn't really care for him, so Grandpa is going to come up with something and figure out a way to kind of be a burden for these two and delay them getting together. And that isn't really much of an issue either. So, and then there's even the plot of the guy who created, Herman here. Um, Kind of being disappointed with his creation. You're like, well, he's going to try to come back and do something because he's disappointed with his creation of Herman Munster, but that doesn't even seem to be an issue either. So it's just 2 hours of bad jokes, corny scenes, a few good things here and there. Like I like the old school style of this. Like you can tell it's Rob Zombie, and that's a good thing in some regard because it definitely got that old school monster movie feel from like late in the day when you just had to watch these creature features at night, or maybe even before my time. But it still got that same vibe to it. That's the good thing. I like the way it looks, although some people would argue it needs to be black and white. I think it looks okay for what it is. I think if you want something brainless that you really don't have to think about, then it's a good watch in that regard. But if you want anything that resembles a interesting plot, or at least a movie that acts like anything that's going on actually matters, then this is not the movie for you. And it was not the movie for me, and I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 because of that. And I do wish they would have trimmed off some of this thing. Um, it looks okay for what it is. The people look fine. I'm not going to hate on the look. I like the look. It's one of my best parts of it. Although I don't know why they didn't paint around the eyes of Mr. Totally Not Nosferatu here. But yeah, I mean, I could pick on it and I could pick issues with it all day long. But basically, is you needed more of a catch here, more of a hook plot wise, and we didn't get it. So what we did get was a very sluggish 2 hours that you're probably not going to enjoy that much. It does kind of resemble the old TV show in a lot of ways, but even that needed a little bit more, and you don't get it here. So, not a fan of this, but it's available now. It's at Walmart. Go check it out.